A great day to one and all. Welcome to the licensure examination for teachers orientation for mathematics majors. And I am Kim J.C. Ensho, PhD, and I will be your reviewer for the next few days in for your preparation for the majoring part of the licensure examination for teachers come this March 2024. So here are some of the few house rules that I would like you to follow. So please mute yourself upon entry. Unmute yourself only if you are asked or recognized to do so. So of course, we wanted to maintain the order in this meeting. So it would be better if I will mute you and I will be the one to speak so as to avoid unnecessary noise as well. But if there are some circumstances wherein you really need to unmute yourself, then I would allow you, provided that you have to ask permission. Please enter on or before 5:50 p.m. and be in class disposition for our 6 to 8 p.m. class or review. And this is every Sunday as well. And we will be discussing 40 items via Zoom. And take note, whatever link you use now, that will be the same link that will be used all throughout the discussion. So please save that link. Take note, kung ano po yung gamit nating link ngayon, yan po yung gagamitin natin all throughout the session. So please save niyo yan. Okay? Itago niyo na. Okay? Dapat secure niyo na. Jowa mo nga secure mo, link pa kaya. Char, kidding aside. So be courteous and polite and be active and participative by means of chatting po kung maaari. And if you have concerns, please raise your hand if you wish to speak, or you may write your concern via chat. In that way, I will be able to see if you have important messages. But at the same time, apart from that, I would know if you have any questions or clarifications po. Mama Jeline, nako, ewan ko na lang. And please, as much as possible, do not write or annotate in the screen unless you are told to do so. Okay? So in that way, we will have a good flow of our discussion. So these are our simple house rules. And I hope that each one of us will abide by these house rules. And maybe some of you would be asking, okay, maybe because I was not with you, right? Last orientation. And I will say something about myself. I am Mr. Kim J.C. Ensho, and I finished my BS Ed as summa cum laude, my Master of Arts in Education as best master's thesis, and my PhD in Science Education in Mathematics, all from West Visayas State University. With the grace of God as well, I was able to clinch the top 3 spot in the September 2010 LET in the secondary level. And I am also a LET and CSE lecturer, a coach and trainer from local to international competitions, particularly in the field of mathematics. I have also given talks on mathematical investigation, problem solving, action research, statistical analysis, mathematics education, among others. And so these are some of my fields of interest. And I also participated in some various seminars, trainings, and workshops related to those fields of interest. And I have, with the grace of God also, I was able to present some of my researches in some research conferences and won some awards. And so we will be meeting. If I am not mistaken, we will have 15 meetings, with you. And that's 2 hours per meeting, maximum of 2 hours. And we will be discussing 40 items po for every meeting po natin. Thank you. And I believe also that you are already familiar with the table of specifications. So I'm looking forward to having a great time with you. And hopefully this class will be interactive. This class will be fun. But the point is, not only we will do our best to review, but also we will try our best to understand and of course be participative and I am hoping po na sana ay makuha po natin yung goal natin. Not simply to pass, but of course, no, if maaari, why not top the net po? So, thank you. So those are some of the things about myself. Now that we are done with the orientation, this time we will go with March 2024 Philippine Licensure Examination for Teachers Review for Mathematics Majors Set 1. So this is just one set, and in this set, there are 40 items that were given to you, I believe, last Thursday or Friday, perhaps, no? And so this time, our goal is to discuss those 40 items. And do you have the copy po ng ating questions? You have the copy? Okay. And also, for the meantime, please permit me to stop my video. Ay, okay. Sige lang po kung hindi po napaprint. Yung mahalaga po ay may kopya po tayo. Thank you po, Ma'am Madeline. Okay. Please permit me to close my or stop my video because natatakot po akong mawala yung signal ko. Okay lang na mawala siya. Huwag lang yung signal ko. Thank you lang po. Okay? So I hope we are all set for the discussion. And for the directions, write the letter of the correct answer. No? If the correct answer is not found among the choices, write E. Okay. So, are we all ready po? I hope we are. And with that, let's go. No? So, push po natin to. And take note, the usual standard po natin is, as much as possible, for every 40 items, the passing score po natin is half. No? It's 20 out of 40. So later on, if you get 20 out of 40, that means you passed. But if you got a score which is less than 20, it's still okay. As long as we will make this, we will make good use of this, no, as points for improvement for us to prepare better for the LET. I'm hoping po na hindi po ako masyadong mabilis magsalita, no? So kung masyado po ako mabilis magsalita, just tell me, no? So that I could also adjust the pacing of my of what I'm saying. Okay. So with that po, I hope we are ready. Let's proceed to item number 1. Which of the following equations could be used to solve the problem? Find the number x that is 7 less than the product of 8 times the sum of 6 and 3. Again, 7 less than the product of 8 times the sum of 6 and 3. Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Please comment your answer po sa ating chat. Okay, so far, many of you, no, to everyone who commented, your answer is letter C. That is 8 times the quantity 3 plus 6 minus 7. And if you answered such, congratulations, you are actually correct. Very good po. Because when we say 7 less than, it means minus 7. But it's 8 times the sum, so 8 will be multiplied by the sum, no? And when we say sum, kailangan po nating i-add yung 3 at saka 6. So therefore, letter C is the correct answer. Ay sana all, napayes si Ma'am Julian. So congratulations po sa lahat ng nakakuha ng C. See, I told you, tama po kayo. Number 2. Which of the following is equivalent to the polynomial 2x squared minus 22x plus 20? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Tingnan po natin yung sagot nyo. Take note, as what I also mentioned earlier, the items in the sets I'm giving you, no? I mean, so far, this is set 1. Somehow, the items are manageable. And as we go along, the difficulty level might increase. Okay. So we have A, B, C, or D. Let's see. Nakalagay dito that many of you answered letter. Ay, wow. Okay, tama nga kaya ang letter C. Okay, we'll see kung tama po kayo. So, in this case po kasi, our focus here is more of content, no? If you could see in this trinomial, the numerical coefficients are 2, -22, and 20. And what's the greatest common factor po of 2, -22, and 20? The GCF is? It's 2, right? Tama po. And for that, kailangan po nating ilabas si 2. So we will factor out 2. And dividing each term by the GCF, so 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. -22x divided by 2 is -11x. And 20 divided by 2 is +10. And you could see you have that trinomial na x squared minus 11x plus 10 na nasa loob po ng ating parentheses. But I believe that you are familiar that this quadratic trinomial is factorable into x minus 1 and x minus 10. So if you answered letter C po ulit, congratulations, you got it right. Sa mga hindi po nakakuha, sige lang po, laban lang, no? Padayon lang po. Yung mahalaga po ay natututo po tayo. Salamat. Number 3. Okay, factor completely. X cubed minus x squared minus 20x. Okay, take a look at the choices. What do you think po? All right. So far, we have one person who commented. And okay, let's see. Yung sagot po ninyo is x times x minus 5 times x plus 4. All right. Let us see if you got it right. So again, tignan po ninyo. No? Check po natin kung tama yung letter A o baka may tama po kayo. Okay. Meron po ba tayong take a look at x cubed minus x squared minus 20x? Meron po ba tayong greatest common factor sa mga terms? Meron po, no? And that is x. Tama po. Yan, x na naman. Naalala ko naman tuloy yung x ko. Sige lang. Ganyan talagang buhay, no? Biro lang po. So, again po, we will factor out x. And dividing each of the terms by your GCF, x cubed divided by x is x squared. Negative x squared divided by x is negative x. And negative 20x divided by x is negative 20. So, you have here again a quadratic trinomial na yung leading coefficient niya 1. Di ba? Sa pagkakaalam po natin, no? If we have this, yung sum niya dito ay negative 1 at yung product niya ay negative 20. So ano pong dalawang numbers na merong sum na negative 1 at saka may product na negative 20? And those numbers are okay, what about the signs po? What about yung signs? Sum nila, negative 1. Product, negative 20. Okay, negative 5 and 4. Tama po. That's why meron po tayong x minus 5 times x plus 4 and as the factor of this trinomial. So therefore, the perfect or the correct answer here is x times the quantity x minus 5 times x plus 4. And if you answered A, di wow, you got it right. Tama po kayo. Push natin to, mga sirs, mga moms. Number 4. Okay. If 4x is greater than 0, which of the following must be true? Is 1? Take a look, x is less than 0. 2 is 1 over x is greater than 0. 3 is negative x. It's less than 0. Is it 1 only? Which of 1, 2, and 3 is correct? Is it 1 only? 2 only? 1 and 2? Or 2 and 3 only? All right. Tingnan po natin. Many of you answered letter D, which is 2 and 3. Tama nga kaya? We'll see. So if 4x is greater than 0, no, and by multiplication property of equality, we will multiply both sides by 1/4. At dahil positive po yung minultiply natin both sides, so the greater than symbol will still be greater than. Okay? So this will be x is greater than 0. Or pwede ring divide both sides by 4. No? And if x is greater than 0, it means that x is positive, right? Di po ba? X is positive dahil greater than 0. Kapag less than 0 naman po, it means negative po yan kung less than 0. So in this case, let's say x is positive, say 3. But if you chose other numbers other than 3, tama din po yan. If x is equal to 3, tama nga ba yung, let's substitute. X less than 0. Is 3 less than 0? And the answer is, hindi po. Di ba? This is actually a false statement because any positive number is always greater than 0. How about yung second one? 1/3. Is 1/3 less than 0? Sorry, this is, saglit lang po ha. And we know that 1/3 is indeed greater than 0. Di po ba? Dahil any positive value ay mas malaki compared to 0. So 2 is true. How about the third one? Which is negative x is less than 0. By substitution, this will be negative 3 is less than 0. And this is again a true statement. Indeed, makikita po natin that out of the 3 statements, only 2 and 3 are actually correct. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng D, wow, you got it right. Congratulations po. Okay. Number 5. The polynomial x squared plus 2x minus 24 is the area of a rectangular floor. What is the length of one of its sides? Ay, wow, grabe si Ma'am Juliet. Haha, 2 only lang yung sagot po. It's okay po. It's okay po. Is it A, x minus 2, B, x plus 2, C, x plus 6, or D, x plus 4? Okay, marami pong sumagot ng x plus 6. And this one entails factoring. No? Because when we speak about the area of your rectangle, it simply means length times width. No? Dahil yan po yung formula natin. And what's the factored form of x squared plus 2x minus 24? It is x plus 6 times the quantity x minus 4. And clearly, x plus 6 is one of the choices. So therefore, we will go with letter C, x plus 6. All right. I hope na nakuha po natin. Number 6. By the way, are we too fast po? A basketball team scored a total of 6,944 points in a certain number of games. If they average 112 points per game, how many games did they play? Did you go for 58, 56, 60, or 62? All right, many answered 62. And let's see kung tama. We know that, di ba, that the sum is equal to the number of games times the average. And therefore, to determine the number of games, all we have to do is divide the sum of all the scores by their average per game. And therefore, by substitution, that's 6,944 divided by 112, which gives us 62 games in all. So, D po yung tamang sagot natin. Congratulations sa mga sumagot ng D. Number 7. I hope na nakuha po natin yung concept. Thank you po. The scores of 10 students are 55, 75, 98, 75, 80, 69, 88, 90, and 95. Find the median. Did you go for 80, 85, 82, or 82.50? All right. Oh, wow. So far, sa mga sumagot po, yung sagot nila ay letter A. Okay. And I agree, no? So paano nga ba natin kinukuha yung median? Sabi ni Ma'am Julian, okay, arrange po daw muna natin. And I agree with that. To get the median of the scores, we need first to have an array and we have to arrange the data from lowest to highest ng pono. Normally, pwede ring lowest to highest, pwedeng highest to lowest. Pero yung nakasanayan po natin kasi is mula lowest sa pinaka-left papuntang highest sa pinaka-right. Okay? Ay, sorry. 9 lang pala, no? Sorry po. So, I stand corrected. 9 lang po yung scores. Okay, thank you po. So, it's only 9 scores and not 10. So, if you have this scores kanina, if we will arrange them in ascending order, from least to highest, we have 55, 69, 75, 75, 80, 88, 90, 95, 98. And we know no, that meron pong 9 scores, di po ba? So, dahil meron po tayong 9 scores, paano nga ba natin kinukuha yung median? That is, we simply, if there are odd number, remember, meron pong dalawang rules sa median eh. If there are odd number of scores, then the middles or the middlemost number is your median. However, kapag even naman po yung number of scores, like merong 10 scores, so all we have to do is we will add the two middle terms and divide the sum by 2, no? And with such, meron din pong shortcut, no? Kung dahil 9 scores po siya, if n is odd, the median is n plus 1 all over 2 na score. So 9 plus 1 divided, 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 divided by 2, 5. And whatever the fifth score from the left, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could see that the fifth score from the left is 80. And therefore, 80 is our median. Or yung pinakagitna na lang po. So letter A. Good job. Number 8. If 60% of A equals 25% of B, what percent of B is A? Is it A, 45%, B, 35 and 3/8%, C, 25%, or D, 41 and 2/3%? Okay. Saglit lang po ha. Okay, what is your answer for number 8? Maraming sumagot ng D. Okay? Welcome po. Now, to do this, marami pong paraan, no? So yung ginawa ko po is more of algebra. 'Di ba? Sabi, 60% of A is equal to 25% of B. 60% means out of 100. So 60% is 60 out over 100 of A equals 25% is 25 over 100, di ba? That's why 25 over 100 of B. That's why you have that one. I hope na clear po sa atin so far, no? Kung paano po tayo nakapunta sa equation na to. And in this case, what happened next is I simplified. 60 over 100 in lowest terms is 3/5. So 3/5 of A is equal to 25 over 100. Di ba? In simplest form, is just 1/4. That's why we have 3/5 of A equals 1/4 of B. Hindi pa po tayo tapos. Sabi kasi, yung hinahanap po natin ay ano? So we will multiply both sides by 5/3, no? Because A po ata yung hinahanap natin. And, di ba? A is what percent of B? Yun po yung hinahanap natin. No? So dapat po, 1 lang po yung numerical coefficient dito. So to make this 1, I multiplied both sides by 5/3. Remember, to maintain equality, kung ano po yung minultiply mo sa left, dapat ganun din po yung imumultiply mo sa right side. And this becomes 1A or simply A equals 5/3 times 1/4 is 5/12B. And if we use our calculator, di ba, to convert a fraction to percent, this one po, we will multiply this by 100%. And using our calculators, you will get 512% or 41 2/3%. So therefore, A is 41 2/3% of B. Letter D. Wow, grabe. So sa lahat po ng sumagot ng D, tama po kayo. Galing. I hope na clear po sa ating lahat. Number 9. On a map, 1 inch represents 20 miles. Two cities, 120 miles apart, would be separated on the map by how many inches? Ay, okay. Nagtanong po muna si Sir Arvin, no? Paano po siya naging 5/3? Okay. Diba dito po, sir, no? Balikan po natin. Kasi kailangan po nating balikan yung nakaraan minsan, no? Kahit nasasaktan po tayo. Kidding aside. Diba yung goal po natin is to solve for A? Okay? Para mawala po yung 3/5, diba yung goal mo dapat 1 lang po yung numerical coefficient ng A. So, ano pong i-multiply mo sa 3/5 para maging 1 po? Diba yung reciprocal niya, which is 5/3? Yan po yung reason kung bakit po ako nag-multiply ng 5/3 both sides. And with that, I arrived to A equals 5/12 times B. And in-express ko lang po yung 5/12 in 2%, which is 41 2/3% po. Thank you. I hope na nakuha po natin. Number 9. So ilan? Letter D daw, which is 6 inches. And, okay, welcome po. If you answered 6 inches, you are actually correct nga ba? Tingnan po natin. So this is actually, there are many ways of doing this. One is doing ratio and proportion. So 1 inch is to 20, ano nga yun? 1 inch is 20 miles. Is to X inches is to 120 miles. And we know po, di ba, that in a proportion, the product of the means, yung nasa loob. So 20 times X, which is 20X, is equal to the product of our extremes. Yung mga nasa labas. 1 times 20, which is 120. So we have 20X equals 120. But since we are solving for X, we will divide both sides by 20 po. And we have X is equal to 6 inches. Letter D. Very good. I hope you are doing fine so far po. Okay. Number 10. Push po natin. A car racer covers 225 kilometers in 2.5 hours. How far can he go in 1 3/4 hours? Did you go for 157.5, 267.5, 168 3/4, or 394? What do you think? Okay, may sumagot ng A. All right, we have Ma'am Shane, Ma'am Ella, Ma'am Karen, and okay, many. Okay. Ma'am Margot, Ma'am Diane, and the list goes on. So again, no, this actually entails a ratio or a proportion, no? And in my case, I'm a bit comfortable using decimal sometimes kasi meron namang calculator. So I converted 2.5 to 2.5. And the 1 3/4 is 1 point. Okay, sige po. So yung nangyari po is, yung ginawa ko po dito is, para mas madali sa akin, no, yung ginawa ko ay yung mixed number, ginawa ko po siyang decimal. So yung 2.5 ay naging 2.5, di po ba? Yung 1 3/4 naman po ay naging 1.75. And meron po tayong proportion this time. That is, sa 225 kilometers, 2.5 yung magagamit. No? But how about ilang kilometers kaya kung 1.75? So ano po yung nangyari? So the same po kanina yung ginamit natin. We will utilize the law of proportion. That is, the product of the means, that is 2.5 times x, is equal to the product of the extremes, which is 225 times 1.75. So with that, yung 225 times 1.75 po ay naging 393.75, and this is equal to 2.5x. Di po ba? At dahil dyan, since we are solving for x, we will now divide both sides by 2.5, and using our calculators, we get x, which is 157.5 kilometers, letter A. I hope na nakuha po natin yung tamang sagot. Letter A po. Okay, salamat. 11. If there are 3 microscopes for every 4 medical students, how many microscopes are needed for 44 students? Sa bawat 3 microscope sa bawat 4 na students, ilang microscope kaya sa 44 students dapat if we are going to follow the proportion? I could see many answered of B. Okay, let's see po. So setting up our proportion, no? So 3 microscopes for every 4 students. But how about how many microscopes? I represented it as X for 44 students. So again, product of the means, which is 4x, is equal to the product of your extremes, which is 3 times 44. And by the way, 3 times 44 po simplifies to 132. So 4x equals 132. And tandaan po ninyo ha, to solve for the value of x or your variable in this format, kung sino po yung kasama ng x mo, siya po yung dapat mong i-divide. Okay? Kung sino yung kasama ng x mo or ng variable, siya po yung dapat i-divide. So dividing both sides by 4, what do we get? We get x is equal to 33 microscopes. So letter B ang tamang sagot. All right. Thank you po. Take note po ha, marami pong paraan kung paano po ito sagutin. So in my case, I use the proportion way. Kung gusto nyo po, pwede ring 3 divided by 4. Tapos yung sagot, multiply nyo sa 44. So depende po yan sa inyo. No? Tama naman po, Ma'am Julian. Thank you po. Number 12. If x and y are both odd numbers, which of the following numbers must be an even number? Is it A, x plus y, B, xy, C, 2x plus y, or D, xy plus 2? All right. Letter A daw. So in this case, if you don't know how to answer this, it's good also if you try x and y as odd numbers, right? And check kung saan yung naging even. So try po natin. Halimbawa, for convenience, nag-assign lang ako. X equals 3 and y equals 5. If I added them, 3 plus 5, I get 8, which is even. If I multiply them, xy, 3 times 5, which is 15, and 15 here is an odd number. Okay? So kung 2x plus y naman, 2 times 3, this is 6. 6 plus 5 gives you 11, which is still odd. And if you have xy plus 2, that's 3 times 5 plus 2, no? But by the GEMDAS rule, kailangan po nating unahin muna yung multiplication. And 3 times 5 is 15 plus 2, which gives you 17, which is odd. So among all the choices, only letter A gave an answer which is even. So the correct answer here is letter A. Okay. I hope na nakuha po natin. 13. If x is a possible integer greater than 1, and x times the quantity x plus 2 is odd, then x must be called A, odd, B, prime, C, divisible by 8, or D, an even number. Okay, marami yatang sumagot ng A ah. Mga kayang A. I'm quite intrigued. So, tama nga kayo lahat o baka mali kayo lahat? Tingnan po natin. Tingnan po natin. Let's have an odd number. Halimbawa, I chose x equals 3. By substitution, magiging 3 times 5 po ito, di ba? Which is 15. And this is odd. No? How about x times x plus 2? How about x is prime? Anong value po yung pwede dito? Let's say 2. Di ba? 2 is a prime number din naman. So if we try x equals 2, ito ay magiging 2 plus yung ito 2. Tapos ito 2 plus 2 which is 4. And this becomes 2 times 4 which is 8. And this now is even. So mali rin po yung B. Mali yung B. Kung letter C naman po, if x is divisible by 8, say I chose x equals 8. So magiging 8 times 8 plus 2 which is 10. So naging 80 po yung sagot, which is even pa rin po eh. And if you have letter D, which is x is even, say I chose x equals 4, naging 4 times the quantity 4 plus 2 po siya, which is 24. So kung mapapansin po ninyo, only letter A, which is x equals odd, x is odd, that gave the expression an odd number value. So letter A po yung tamang sagot. I hope na nakuha po natin and I hope na okay na po yung pacing ng ating review. Thank you po. 14. Identify the property of real numbers being illustrated. Take a look po 3 plus the sum of 2 and plus 5 is equal to the sum of 3 and 2 added by 5. Is it associative property of addition, commutative property of addition, associative property of multiplication, or commutative property of multiplication? All right, very good. Many of you answered A. When we speak about associative property of addition, that is actually the correct answer here. That is the grouping of, if you are adding 3 numbers, for example, 3 whole numbers, for example, the grouping of the terms does not affect the sum. That's what the associative property is saying. That is A added by the sum of B and C is equal to the sum of A and B added by C. Yung commutative property of addition naman po is that the order of the addends does not affect the sum. That is, for the commutative property of addition, A plus B is equal to B plus A. And for the associative property of multiplication, similar po siya sa A. It's just that addition became multiplication. And for the commutative property of multiplication, A times B is equal to B times A. So, I hope na clear po sa atin na ang tamang sagot po dito ay letter A. Yes, for everyone po, no, I will provide you of the following. Don't worry po kung masyado po kayong nabibilisan minsan. I will provide you the PDF copy of the presentation. I will also provide you with a recorded copy of the video sa atin pong group page. So don't worry kung mamimiss nyo man po siya, you can still go back to it, no? Kasi it will be placed naman po sa ating GC. Sheshe, welcome po. 15. Which of the following is an improper fraction? Is it A, 7/8, B, 3/3, C, 3/4, or D, none of the above? Welcome po, don't worry. Letter A, okay, sabi dito improper fraction. Okay, sabi nyo none of the above? Wow. Marami pong sumagot ng D. And kung sumagot po kayo ng D, I'm so sorry to say, mali po ang D. When we say improper fraction, it is a fraction whose numerator is greater than or equal to your denominator. Tandaan po ninyo ha, kapag sinabi po nating proper fraction has a numerator that is less than the denominator. Pero kapag yung ating numerator ay naging equal o nag-greater than sa ating denominator, automatic, improper na po yan. So 3/3 po is actually improper. Letter B. Siguro I can't blame you po, no? Siguro kasi yung nakasanayan po natin, basta dapat mas malaki yung numerator sa denominator. Hindi po. Kapag sinabi po nating improper, nag-equal man ang, o mas malaki yung numerator kaysa sa denominator. So letter B po, 3/3. 16. If A, B, and C and D are all integers greater than 2, which of the following is the greatest? Take a look po. Which of these, okay, it's okay po. Sometimes kasi, no, yung kami din po sa amin dati, yung itinuro po sa amin dati, dapat mas malaki yung numerator kaysa denominator. But hindi po. If you will check the definitions, dapat greater than or equal. Okay, D nga ba? A. So, sabi dito greater than 2. So, in my case, sabi di ba, greater than 2. So, I can choose any integer that I want as long as it's greater than 2. I let A be equal to 3, B equals 4, C equals 5, and D equals 6. Kapag yan po, by substitution, naging 3 plus 4 multiplied by the quantity 5 plus 6, di po ba? And this becomes 7 times 11, which is 77. How about kung letter B po? A plus B, C minus D. Saan kaya dito? Ano kaya yung value nito? If this is the case, by substitution, that's 3 multiplied by 4 times 5, added by 4 times 5 minus 6. The 4 times 5 is 20. And the expression becomes 3 plus 20 minus 6, which is 17. So, mas mababa siya. Kung letter C naman, A plus B multiplied by C plus D, take note po ha, wala pong parentheses dito. Dito sa A may parentheses. By substitution, that's 3 plus 4 times 5 plus 6. Dahil wala pong parentheses dito, of course, only the C or 5 will be multiplied to 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is 7 times 5, which is 35, plus 6, and that gives us 41. At kapag letter D naman po, wala rin pong parentheses dito, only the B will be multiplied to the sum of C and D. By substitution, yan po yung result niya. Yung 5 plus 6 ay magiging 11. So that's 3 plus 4 times 11. By the Gemdas rule, 4 times 11 first, which is 44. And 3 plus 44 gives you 47. So makikita po natin obviously dito na yung pinakamalaki po sa lahat ay letter A, which is 77. So ito po yung tamang sagot. Okay. 17. If x is odd, which of the following statements is or are true? Is it A, x is odd, B, x squared is odd, C, x squared is even? Is it 3 only, 1 only, 2 only, or 1 and 2 only? Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Julian, x and x squared daw. And yun din po ata yung sentiments ng karamihan sa atin. Okay, check po natin. So kung hindi po tayo sure, why not assign an x as an odd number value? So if x is equal to, let x equals 3. But you can choose also other odd numbers, no? If whatever you wish. If we have x squared, then that's 3 squared, which is 9. And 9 is still an odd number, di po ba? So you could see that x is odd. It follows also that for this example, that x squared is also odd. And it's not an even number. That's why the square of an odd number, an odd natural number, it's always an odd natural number. So 1 and 2 only, letter D. And hope na nakuha po natin mga moms and sirs. If you have questions po ha, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Okay? Because in the first place, second place ka lang naman sa buhay niya. Char lang, biro lang po. Okay. 18. This was my age last year. Okay. If 3 babies are born per minute, how many babies are born in 1 hour? Is it 180, 160, 108, or 105? All right. Many of us are convinced about letter A. And tandaan po natin that in an hour, no, there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So dahil 3 babies ang ipinapanganak bawat minute, it therefore follows that to determine the total number of babies in 1 hour, we can multiply it by 60. So 3 times 60 will give us 180 babies. All in all, letter A. Okay. Bao mga babies. Okay. Sana all. Okay. Good. 19. A manufacturing shop produced 12 trailers of the same model. If the trailers had a combined weight of 27.6 tons, how much in pounds did one of the trailers weigh? Note that 1 ton is equal to 200 pounds. Is it A, 2,200, B, 500, C, 4,600, or D, 460? So, hati po ata tayo. May sumagot ng C, may sumagot ng D. Ay, okay, 46 lang po sa inyo. Actually, it should be like this po. Siguro na-miss out lang po. Sige, typo lang po siguro. Sige po. Sige. So anyways, let's just, kung wala, edi bonus lang po natin to. Naku, madali akong kausap. Okay. So therefore, no, in my case, I determined first the total weight of the trailers. Ay, okay. So sige po. Ano na lang po, no? So bonus na lang po ito. Okay? Kung wala na po tayong magagawa. Sige. So in my case, knowing that each ton is 200 pounds, I expressed first the weight of all the trailers in pounds. So that's 27.6 times 200. It therefore follows that the total weight of the trailers is 5,520 pounds. No? So ito po yung total weight nilang lahat. Pero remember po natin, nakasaad po sa problem that each trailer weighs, there are 12 trailers, di po ba? So that's 5,520 pounds divided by 12 gives us 460 pounds. Therefore, each trailer weighs 460 pounds. Letter D po yung tamang sagot. Okay? Good job po. So D. So anyway po, dahil sa may typo po, so sige, bonus lang po natin ito. Madali akong kausap. Number 20. Sige lang po, bonus lang po. In a group of students, 40% are males. If there are 240 females, how many students are there in all? Is it 600, 96, 141, or 400? Okay, marami pong sumagot ng D. Let's see if D is correct. 400 nga ba? So since 40% are males, no, of course, we know that the total is 100%. And 100% minus 40% follows that 60% of all the students are males. And in my case, I let X to be the total number of students. And it is known that 60% of all the students is 240. And that's why I arrived to this equation. 60%, by the way, I converted it to, you can choose either fraction or decimal. I chose to convert 60% to decimal. And to convert percent to decimal, di po ba, nag-divide po tayo ng 100%. And of course, or we simply move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And of course, off implies multiplication. So 0.6x equals 240 po. And with that, take note, kung sino po yung kasama ng x mo, yan po yung i-divide mo both sides. So 240 divided by 0.6 gives us 400 students in all. Therefore, we know that that school has 400 students all in all. Letter D. Okay. All right. 21. I hope po sana naintindihan po ninyo. I hope po. In a recent PTA fundraising campaign, 37% of the 500 people contacted made contributions. Which equation could be solved to find the number of contributions? Is it A, 0.37 over 500, B, C, or D? All right. Letter B daw. Okay. Are you amenable with 0.37 times 500? Let's see. So 37% of the 500 people made contributions. So you could see here that the rate is 37%, no? Because it's the one with the percent symbol. In this case, it's also the rate. Our base is also 500. Remember, you have your PBR, your percentage base rate. Usually, you could spot the base because it is usually after, not always, by the way, but usually after the word of. No? That's why this of the 500 people, so 500 po is our base. And what are we looking for? We're looking for the percentage, which is X. And tandaan po natin ha, percentage is equal to base times rate. Tandaan po natin yan. Okay? So with that, saglit lang po ha. And we know that percentage is equal to base times rate. By substitution, X will be replaced by, P will be replaced by X. And base will be replaced by 0.37. And the rate will be replaced by 500 by the, the base is 500 and the rate is 0.37. And I employ the commutative property na lang po. So you arrive to letter B, which is 0.37 times 500. Okay? I hope na nakuha po natin. 22. The arithmetic mean of 6 consecutive integers is 17.5. What is the average of the first 5 of these integers? Okay, what's your answer po? Okay, letter C daw, 17. So, di ba, we don't know what, there are many ways of doing this po ha. Take note po na kung ano man po yung process ko, baka iba po yung sa inyo, pero yung mahalaga po ay na-solve po natin siya. So in my case, I let x to be the smallest of these 6 numbers. And of course, if x is the smallest number, dahil consecutive po sila, x plus 1 is the second, x plus 2 is the third, x plus 3 is the fourth, x plus 4 is the fifth, and x plus 5 is the sixth number. And their average is 17.5, di po ba? That's why, yung ginawa ko po, I added all of this and divided by 6. Dahil yan po yung concept ng average, no? Equals 17.5. Di ba? Yung concept ng arithmetic mean or average is, ng mean or arithmetic average is, sum all over the total number of scores. Yung ginawa ko po next ay, inadd ko po lahat, yung sa numerator. So yung sum po ng x plus 1, until x plus 5, ay 6x plus 15. Welcome po. And yung ginawa ko po after is, I multiplied also both sides by 6, no? Dahil gusto ko po na ma-clear out yung fractions. That's why 6 times 17.5 po. And the 6 times 17.5 simplifies to 105. That's why I have 6x plus 15 equals 105 po. Okay? And subtracting both sides by 15, I have 6x equals 105 minus 15. Diba? Dahil positive po siya sa left side, magiging minus po siya sa right side. 105 minus 15 is 90. And dividing both sides by 6, we get x equals 15. At dahil po dyan, may nag-text. Kidding aside. At dahil po dyan, x is the smallest number. And of course, the six consecutive numbers are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 po. Ito na po yung 6 numbers na hinahanap natin. However, hindi po ito yung hinahanap natin eh. Yung hinahanap po natin ay yung average ng first 5 of them. So the average of 15, 16, all the way until 19. Okay? And with that, you will add all of them, all of these 5, and divide by 5 kasi nga 5 sila. You get 85 over 5, which is 17. So letter D po talaga yung tamang sagot. Yes po. Careful po ha. 17 po. May nakakuha ba? I'm not sure. But it's okay po ah. Yung halaga po ay may learning experience po. Okay lang po. Or dahil di ba arithmetic sequence ito, may isa pa pong technique. Dahil nga arithmetic sequence ito, kasi meron kang common difference of 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Pwede rin plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 3, plus 3, and so on. Dahil add po sila, kung ano po yung middle term, yan po yung average. And by the way, I stand corrected. Thank you for the corrections. So letter C po pala yung choice na 17. Thank you po. Letter C. Good job po. So take note po ha, kapag may nakita po tayong mali, or let's say sa letters, no? Feel free to inform me po and I am open to corrections. Thank you po. Letter C. Okay. 23. Find the product of 3 square root of 9 times 4 square root of 16. Okay, what's your answer? Okay, letter C, 144. And I think many of you answered that. With our calculators, we could also do this, no? By this, we know that the square root of 9 simplifies to 3. And the square root of 16 simplifies to 16. So I copy the rest. And then I just copied the simplified versions, no? So I have 3 times 3 times 4 times 4. And that becomes 9 times 16, or simply 144. Letter C. Good job po sa ating lahat. Thank you. 24. Which of the following is not equal to 0.0327? Take a look at A, B, C, and D. Saan po kaya sa kanilang lahat ang hindi equal sa 0.0327? Okay, may sumagot. Hati-hati po ata tayo. May sumagot ng A, may sumagot ng B, mayroon ding sumagot ng, but ang karamihan sa atin A po yung sagot. Take note po ha, not equal po yung tanong. Let's see. You could actually encode this in your calculator. If you do this, letter A, the first one actually gives you 3.27, no? Because if you raise to -1, you simply, if you are raising to a negative number, by the way, you are moving the decimal point to the left. But if it's positive, you are moving it to the right. So A is equal to 3.27. B, C, and D are all equal to 0.0327. So letter A nga po, no, ang tamang sagot, and it is the one that has a different value from the others. So the correct answer is A. Congratulations. And this one, or you could encode this in your calculator directly, and it will give you the answer right away. Okay, so far, so good. 25. Evaluate the expression 2xy plus 5x plus 2y minus 4 when x equals 2 and y equals -3. Did you go for -12, 12, -5, or 24? I could see a lot of A's. Let's see if that is correct. A nga ba? Convince. Oh, -12 daw. Okay, let's see. So, of course, no, when we speak about evaluating this expression in this context, all we have to do is substitute the values of the variables and simplify the results. So with such, replacing x's by 2 and y's by 3, we arrive to 2 times 2 times 3 plus 5 times 2 plus 2 times 3 minus 4. So mag-ilan po to? 2 times 2 times 3 is 12. Tama. 5 times 2, 10. 2 times 3 is 6 minus 4. No? And the 12 plus 10 plus 6 all right, I stand corrected. It's -3 based on the problem. So I replaced all x's by 2's and all y's by -3. No? So with such, the first expression here simplifies to -12. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times -3 is -6. And this is -4. -6 minus 4 is -10. And 10 minus 10 is 0. That's why the correct answer here is letter A, which is -12. Thank you. 26. A container contains 100 liters of a solution of acid and water. The solution is 40% acid. How much water must be added to obtain a solution that is 30% acid? Is it A, 33 and 1/3, 35 and 3/4, 42 and 1/2, or 20 and 2/3? Okay, I see. So far, we have few people. No, we have A from 2 people, which is 33 and 1/3 liters. Take note ha, 40% acid po siya. Gusto mong dagdagan ng tubig. And remember that pure water is 0% acid. So yung ginawa ko po ganito. Di ba 100 liters ito na 40% acid? We don't know kung ilang tubig yung ilalagay, kung ilan yung volume ng water na ilalagay po natin, di po ba? So yung ginawa ko is I represented that by X liters. But of course, dahil pure water siya, it is 0% acid. This is 40% acid. This is 0% acid. And Diba? Dahil 100 liters po ito, X liters po yung dinagdag nyo. Of course, the total volume or the total weight ng mixture is 100 plus X. Siyempre, i-add mo yung dalawang yan. But this mixture now is 30% acid. And I converted 30% into decimal. So with that, concentration po, that is 100 times 0.40. Ito po yung amount of acid dito. Plus X times 0, ito yung amount of acid dito, equals the total volume, which is 100 plus X times 0.30, ito yung total amount of acid na nandito. So by simplifying this, 100 times 0.40 is 40. X times 0 is simply 0. That's why yung sa left side natin, 40 plus 0 or simply 40 na lang po. Whereas for the right side, we employ the distributive property, no? So 100 times 0.30, that's 30. X times 0.30, that's 0.30x. And yung ginawa ko po next is, nag-subtract, gusto ko pong ma-isolate yung term na merong variable. So yung 30 na to ay naging minus 30 sa left side. So 40 minus 30 gives us 10. And 10 equals 0.30x. And of course, gaya nga lang sinabi ko, kung ano yung kasama ng x mo, siya yun din yung i-divide mo both sides. So 10 divided by 0.30 means you get 33 and 1/3 x. And that is letter A. So sa lahat ng sumagot ng A, tama po kayo. I hope na naintindihan po natin yung explanation. Thank you po. 27. A consistent independent system has A, one solution, B, no solution, C, infinitely many solutions, or D, at most one solution. Okay? May sumagot ng C, mayroon ding sumagot ng A. Karamihan sa inyo, A yung sagot. And if you answered A, you are actually correct. Kapag sinabi po natin consistent independent system of linear equation, these two lines intersect at exactly one point and therefore has exactly one solution lang po. Kapag sinabi naman po natin consistent dependent, these are two overlapping lines. Or these two lines, nagpapatong po sila sa isa't isa. And dahil they overlap, they have infinitely many solutions. Yung inconsistent system naman po are the results to a graph, no, which are parallel lines. At dahil dahil parallel po sila, wala po silang intersection. At dahil wala po silang intersection, of course, null set po o wala po silang any point na common. So null set po yung solution set. The correct answer is letter A. Consistent, independent, has exactly one solution. 28. What is the area of a square if it has a perimeter of 148 meters? Is it A, 1693 meters squared, 396 meters squared, 1369 meters squared, or D, 1639 meters squared? I could see many C's. If you answered C, let's see. Take note ha, ano nga po pala yung formula sa pagkuha ng area ng square? What's yung formula po natin? The formula is side squared or S squared. Tama po. So each side, but before that, dahil given po yung perimeter, kailangan po natin kunin muna yung measure ng bawat side. And we know that the formula for the perimeter of a square is 4S, or 4 times the side. So to get the measure of one side, we will divide the perimeter, which is 148 by 4, and each side measures 37 meters. At gaya nga po ng sinabi ninyo, sana all, Ma'am Julian. Okay, thank you po. The area is S squared. So 37 squared, the square of 37 meters is 1,369 meters squared, and that is letter C. So far, so good. Thank you. 29, mga basic daw ang alam. Kunwari pa si ma'am. To find the perimeter P of a rectangle that has a length of 16 inches and the width of 12 inches, which of the following equations can be used? Did you go for A, B, C, or D? Check po ninyo. Saan po dyan sa apat yung sagot nyo? Wow! I like po, no? Gusto ko po yung mabilis na sagot kasi it means that most likely we are confident about our answers. And we know that the formula for a perimeter of a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W, no? And by substitution, we have 2 times 16 plus 2 times 12. Letter A. Yes. Or meron din po tayong isang formula, 2 multiplied by the sum of L and W. But of course, pwede namang ito. Sana all po. But we have to start slow po muna. We have to start, with the basic po muna, no? And you have your other calculator techniques with Sir Kevin, no? And I believe that you will also be learning a lot from Sir Kevin. 30. How much powder can be put into a spherical container with a diameter of 10 cm? Which of A, B, C, or D yung sagot nyo po? Okay, take note, ha? How much powder? So this speaks about volume. And we are talking about a sphere. I hope you could still remember how to find the volume of a sphere. The formula for a volume of a sphere is? But before that, dahil diameter mo 10 cm, and we know that the radius is half of your diameter, so the radius here is 10, 1/2 of 10, which is 5 cm. And please note that the formula for the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, where pi is the ratio of your circumference and your diameter, no? Which is approximately 3.14. And your radius is, of course, you're already from the distance between the center and the point on the sphere. By substitution, that's 4/3 times 5 times pi times 5 cubed. 5 cubed is 125 po. And using your calculators, you will get an answer which is approximately 523.6. So tama nga po yung letter C. Okay, thank you po, ma'am or sir. I'm not sure if it's sir or ma'am Marns, no? 4/3 pi r cubed. Letter C. Sige lang po. Bawi lang po. 31. The radius of a right cylindrical can is 10 cm and its height is 12 cm. Determine its volume in cm cubed. Is it 120 pi, 1,200 pi, 12 pi, or 12,000 pi? Okay. Letter B daw, 1,200 pi. Let's see if you got it right. Let us be reminded na ito po yung given natin. And ano nga po pala yung formula sa volume ng cylinder? Okay, I agree with Sir Kevin, no? Your area of the base times the height, tama po yan. But we know po na yung base po natin ay circle, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. That's why the formula for the volume of your cylinder is V equals pi r squared h, where r is your radius of the circular base and h is the height of your cylinder, the vertical height of your cylinder. By substitution, that's pi times 10 squared times 12. 10 squared simplifies to 100. 100 times 12 is 1,200 multiplied by pi gives you 1,200 pi cm cubed. Letter B. Okay. So sa lahat po na nag-comment ng formula at nagbigay na kanilang sagot, congratulations. Thank you po. I hope na nakuha po natin. 32. If we draw a ball from a box containing 6 white balls and 4 black balls, what is the chance of getting a white ball? Is it A, 1/2, B, 2/5, C, 3/5, or D, 2/3? Okay? Okay, 3/5 daw. Let's see. 6 white, 4 black. At dahil it follows, no? Dahil meron kang 6 white at 4 na black na balls, it follows that you have 10 balls in all. But since we are talking about the probability of getting a white ball, and we're talking about classical probability, that is the total number of favorable outcomes over the total number of outcomes. So there are 6 ways, there are 6 that are favorable for white. Out of the 10, and 6/10 simplifies to 3/5. Letter C. Thank you po, Ma'am Julian, Ma'am Shenny, Ma'am Sir Kevin. Thank you din po for the formula. That is very well appreciated. And to everyone as well who commented their answers. 33. If the outcome of one event does not affect the probability of another event, the two events are A, dependent, B, complements, C, mutually exclusive, or D, independent. All right, may sumagot ng independent. May sumagot din ng a few of you answered mutually exclusive, but majority of you answered letter D, which is independent. Let's see. When we say the events are dependent if the first event affects the outcome of the second event. Meaning, yung mga previous occurrences, no? Yung mga, may mga, kumbaga yung hugot niyan is simple lang. Yung past affects the future, no? Parang sakit naman, no? Okay. So yung mga nangyari sa nakaraan ay maaaring makaapekto sa mga pangyayari sa hinaharap. That's dependent po yan. When we say complementary events naman po, two events are complementary if the sum of their probabilities is 1. Halimbawa po, if the probability na uulan ay 70%. Siyempre, ang probability na hindi uulan ay 30%. Those two events are complementary. When we say mutually exclusive events naman po, if they cannot happen at the same time, and the correct answer here is letter D. Independent po sila if the first event does not affect the outcome of the second event. Dog, ang tamang sagot. I hope na nakuha po natin yung explanation. Salamat po. 34. If there are 4 ways of going from A to B and 5 ways of going B to C, then how many ways can we go from A to B to C? Is it A, 20 ways, B, 2 ways, C, 9 ways, or D, 18 ways? Please comment po yung sagot natin. Okay, sabi ni Sir Kevin Mabalay, 4 times 5 daw, which is 20. Yan yun po yung sagot ni Ma'am Shenny. At sa lahat po ng nag-comment, A po yung sagot ninyo. And if you answered letter A, since there are 4 ways of going from A to B, no? At 5 ways from going B to C, sabi ng fundamental counting principle po kasi, if you have 2 independent events, okay, by the fundamental counting principle, if there are 2 events, 2 independent events, if one event can occur in M ways, the other event can occur in n ways, then their occurrence is just m times n combinations of their occurrences. So with that, we have to multiply 4 and 5 and arrive to 20 ways in all. Letter A. Good job, everyone. No? So I'm really happy so far because we are starting strong. No? Good job po. 35. What digit will make 473 blank divisible by 9? Did you go for 4, 5, 6, or 7? Kung inyo pong mararapatin, without actually dividing, how can we tell if a number is divisible by 9? Kung inyo pong matatandaan, paano nga ba? How do we know? Ano po yung divisibility test? No? Kinakyu ko na lang to, sir. Hindi ko po alam. Ay, okay. Sige lang po. Sabi ni Ma'am Abigail, add all the digits po. Tama. I agree, no? Yung technique po dito is, take note in number theory, if a certain whole number is divisible by 9, regardless kung ilang digits man yan, if the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. And I agree with Ma'am Jackie Lou, Ma'am Jacqueline, Ma'am Margot, sir or, di ako sure kung sir to or ma'am, si Marns. Tama po. So kung inyo pong mapapansin dito, kapag inad po natin si 473 at saka yung missing digit, dapat divisible po siya by 9. So in this case, I don't know what that is, no? So I just let it as X muna. But one thing I know is that 4 plus 7 plus 3 plus X simplifies to X plus 14, di po ba? Pero, so X plus 14 should be divisible by 9. Ang tanong, ano po yung i-add mo sa 14? Among the choices, ano po yung i-add mo sa 14 para maging divisible siya by 9? Okay, Ma'am Marns, thank you po. Okay, no problem po. Thank you po. Anong i-add mo sa 14 para maging divisible siya by 9? And that is 4. Tama. Because we see that 4 plus 14 becomes 18 and 18 is divisible by 9. Or kung di po natin alam yung shortcut, you could just do some trial and error, no? So 4 plus 7, 4,734. Just encode in your calculator and I'm sure it will still be divisible by 9. Yes, it's applicable for 9 po. Applicable din po siya for divisibility by 3. A certain number, a certain whole number is divisible by 3 if the sum of all digits is divisible by 3. Similar din po sa 9. Yes, okay lang po. Okay lang po. Nag-trial and error, okay lang po. At least, no, we are also trying to learn something new from time to time po. Yes, applicable yung 3. No? Yes. Yes, applicable po siya, Sir Kevin, for 3 and 9. A certain whole number is divisible by 3 if the sum of all digits is divisible by 3. Divisible by 9 if the sum of all digits is divisible by 9. Pero wag niyo po siyang gamitin sa 4, sa 5, sa 6, sa 7, ha? Iba po yung divisibility rules nila. Yeah, pero at least nagtanong siya, di ba? May mga supplemental info lang po. Thank you. 36. Find the least number divisible by each natural number less than or equal to 12. Is it 27,730? Did you go for 27,702, 27,703, or 27,720? Ay, sana L. Okay, many people answered D. Hi, sana all. Ahem. Okay. So ito po. Now, siguro, yung ginawa po ng iba ay hinala ko talaga yung GCF. No? I mean yung LCD. No? Marami pong ways. Kung hindi po kayo sure, pwede nyo i-try isa-isa. Mag-trial and error kayo at saka check nyo kung saan dyan yung divisible na by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, all the way, by 5, all the way until the last number. So, trial and error ulit, walang po problema doon. Iba po yung way ko. No? Nilista ko po muna lahat, pero yung may mga technique po eh. Hindi ko talaga kinuha yung LCM nung iba, ng lahat. Alam ko po, no, kinuha ko lang po yung LCM ng 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Magtatanong kayo, hala, bakit? Bakit hindi mo sinama si 1 to 6? May technique po. Ito po yung technique. Si 1, hayaan nyo yan because everything is divisible by 1. All the numbers here are divisible by 1. 12 could be divided by 2. Hayaan mo na. 3 could be divided. 3 is a factor of 12. So, hindi ko na sinama. 4 is also a factor of 12. So, hindi ko na sinama. 5 is a factor of 10. So, hindi ko na sinama. 6 is a factor of 12. So, hindi ko na sinama. But 7 is not a factor of any of this. 8 is not a factor of any of this. 9 is not a factor of any. That's why yung 1 to 6, since yung 1 to 6, factor siya ng iba. Pero yung 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ay hindi po factor ng iba. Pero bakit sa lahat ng iba, bakit siya pa ang iyong pinili? Hindi mo ba alam na meron nang nagmamayari ng puso niya? Ano daw? Kidding aside, pasensya na po. So, that's why yung ginawa ko po, ay kinakap ko na lang po yung LCM ng 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, at saka 12. Okay, sige lang ma'am Juliano. Minsan, kailangan din nating masaktan upang matauhan. Okay, now, yung 7, 7 lang yan. Prime number na, no choice na. Yung 8, 2 times 2 times 2. Yung 9, 3 times 3. Yung 10, 2 times 5. Yung 2, meron namang 2 dito eh. So, hindi ko na siya sinama. Pero wala pang 5, so sinama ko na. Yung 11, prime number na yan eh. So, yan. Yung 12, 2 times 2 times 3. So, may 2 na, may 3 na rin. So, yung mga duplications na iba, hindi ko na gagamitin. So, yung gagamitin ko na lang ay yung mga nakapula. And multiplying all those numbers in red gives us 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 11, and that is 27,720. Letter D. Okay, sige lang po. Minsan, no, ganyan talaga ang buhay natin. May mga pagkakataong nakakaranas tayo ng kaunting saya, pero minsan, sa isang iglap, sasabihin niya, gusto ko lang bumitaw. Kahit ayaw pa ng puso, pero kailangan talagang bumitaw. Sige lang po. So, letter D po, yung tamang sagot. Okay, 37. If the sum of 3 different prime numbers is an even number, what is the smallest of the 3? Is it 2, 1, 5, or 3? Okay, marami pong sumagot ng 2. Agoy. Eh, grabe siya. Now, take note po of this. Take note ha, 1 is not a prime number. 1 is neither prime nor composite. Pero take note ha, all prime numbers are odd except for 2. 2 is the only even prime number. Tandaan po natin yan. Now, ito po yung gagawin natin. What happens kapag tatlo po sila ay puro odd? So kung puro sila odd, ano po yung sagot? Is it odd plus odd plus odd? Will you arrive to an even number or to an odd number? Again, if you add 3 odd numbers, because only 2 is even, the rest of the primes are odd. If you add 3 odd numbers, odd ba or even yung sagot? Okay, halimbawa, no? In my case, I use 3, 5, and 7. They are prime and they are all odd. I arrive to 15, which is odd. So tandaan po natin, imposible po if you are adding 3 odd numbers, your answer will be odd. That's why for you to have an even number, it is important that one of them has to be even. And 2 is the only even prime. And if you have even, odd plus odd, try nyo po. How about even plus odd plus odd? Will you result to an odd number or to an even number? Even, no? For example, 2 plus 5 plus 7, these are 3 primes. But if 2 is one of them, then you will result to 14, which is an even number. That's why 2 should be present as one of the addends. Letter A. So careful po tayo. Sige lang po. Alam mong, sir, okay lang po yan. Alam mong mali ka. Pero yung mahalaga ay natuto po tayo mula sa ating pagkakamali. No? Sige. Na huwag na natin ulitin sana. Huwag nating ipilit ang mga bagay-bagay na hindi naman talaga dapat. 38. A car will go 300 miles on 15 gallons of gasoline. How far in miles will the car go on 18 gallons of gasoline at the same rate? Is it 320, 420, 360, or 340? Ilang miles po kaya? Yan, pilitin mo pa, no? Biro lang po. Kung 15 gallons, 300 miles. Kung 18 gallons, ilang miles kaya? 360. Okay? Check po natin. If 15 gallons corresponds to 300 miles, therefore it follows that for every gallon, by division, 20 miles po, no? For 300, because in what we did here is we simplified this. So we know that the GCF of 15 and 300 is 15. So 15 divided by 15 is 1. 300 divided by 15 is 20. It means that for every gallon, 20 miles po yung kaya niyang ma-reach na distance, i-travel na distance. At dahil meron kang 18 gallons, and for every gallon, 20 miles, so that's 18 times 20, that gives us 360 miles, letter C. So tama nga yung C. C, I told you, you're correct. And I agree with you, Ma'am Abigail, no? Ratio and proportion concept is still applicable po dito. Tama po yan. In my case, there are many ways of doing this eh. Pwede rin namang 15 gallons is to 300 is to 18 ano nga yan? Is to 20 is to x. Halimbawa. So product of means equals product of extremes. Tama din po yan. Yun yung maganda sa math eh. Iba-iba man yung solution, same yung answer. Iba-iba man yung pinanggalingan, iisa pa rin ang patutunguhan. All right. 39. An engineer deposits 10,000 pesos in a new bank at 8% interest compounded annually. Which of the following equations will give us the amount of his money at the end of 3 years? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, I could see a lot of A's. I think may mali ako dito. Saglit lang ha. Sige, check po natin. So actually, ito po yung formula natin for compound interest, no? So P sub F equals P sub O times the quantity 1 plus R over S raised to ST. Where P sub F is the amount, no? Na resulting amount after investing it to a certain compound interest. P sub O po is the principal amount or the original amount that you invested. R is the interest rate. S is like the season, parang ganon, no? Kung S is 1 if it is annually. S is 2 if it is semi-annually. Kung quarterly, ilan ang S? Sige nga. If quarterly, ilan ang S? Quarterly, your S is 4. Careful po. Kung monthly, ilan yung S? Kung monthly, ilan yung S? 12. Okay? And that's why kung ano man po yung S dito, yan din po yung S dyan sa exponent. At ano naman po yung T? T is the time which is expressed in terms of years. Take note po ha, the time here is in terms of years. And by substitution, it becomes 10,000 times 1 plus 0.08 over 1. Bakit over 1 lang? Kasi annually. And S should be equal to 1. So times 1 pa rin dito yung S. Times 3 years. So times 3. And this simplifies to this, which is letter A. Yes, no? Thank you po, Sir Kevin. No? S is the number of, it's your compounding period. So careful po. Letter A po yung tamang sagot natin. And we have one more. I hope po na nakuha po natin no, for today's video. We have 40. It is the amount of money on which the interest is paid. Is it A, principal, B, commission, C, balance, or D, all of the above? Principal daw. If you answered principal amount, it is the amount of money on which the interest is paid. So like ito po yung ininvest mong money halimbawa po, no? So ito yung tinutubuan, yung nilalagyan ng interest. When we say commission naman, it is a payment given to employees based on the sales they made. Halimbawa lang po. Halimbawa, ikaw, nagbebenta ka ng kotse. Dahil naibenta mo yung kotse na yon, sasabihin sa iyo ng company na, kung mabebenta mo tong kotse na to, bibigyan kita ng 1% ng kita. That's commission po. Yung balance naman po, it's the amount of money owed or due, or ito yung utang mo, halimbawa. No? Ito pa yung babayaran mo pa. So, letter A po, yung tamang sagot. Haha, malintindi ko yun. I was thinking of the future world value. Sige lang po. It's okay. So, with that ends our review for tonight. So, TYVM, thank you very much, and a great day to one and all.